right, you heard it here, folks. This is the best revenge film of all time. Period. You know what? Get this chair out of the way. I Saw the Devil, directed by Kim Ji-woon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a film that follows a Secret Service agent, Soo-yeon, when his pregnant fiancée is murdered. Yeah, it's one of those movies. After finding her body parts in the sewage, he seeks out revenge against our antagonist, Hyung-chul. My Korean pronunciation is going to be throughout the video, just letting you know if I have any Korean viewers. Now, by hearing that synopsis, you're probably thinking, okay, this is your run-of-the-mill revenge story, right? Wrong! You're wrong. It's going to be further from the fact. The thing that I've noticed about Korean films, as opposed to the more Western Hollywood films, is that Koreans just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit what they put on screen. Like, on this movie, you see everything in its disgusting detail. And I mentioned this movie's brutal, but it's probably one of the most brutal, if not the most brutal movie I have ever seen in my life. Hold up, let me just... I'm trying to look like Clark Kent over here. If I still haven't convinced you that this is the best... Whoa, I just shook the whole disc. If I still haven't convinced you to watch the movie, then f*** you. Now, but you're probably sitting there wondering, why? Well, what's so special about this movie? What sets it apart from all the other revenge films? The twist that this movie has is that each time the, I already forgot his name. Our hero, protagonist, catches the antagonist serial killer, he'll beat him up, beat him to a pulp, pretty much near death, and then he'll set him free, and track him down again, and beat him to a pulp again, and then he'll let him go. And it's this cat and mouse game. I know I already mentioned it, but I cannot express to you how violent, brutal, messed up this film is. Most things that you see in this film are things that you'll see Hollywood just shying away from. You're like, screw that, I'm not putting that on the screen. And that's what I respect about Korean cinema. I feel like, and I can say this with confidence, Koreans are the best to ever do film. Might be a bit of a controversial statement, but I don't care, it's true. I mean, they've got some of the best filmmakers working today. You got Bong Joon-ho, Park Chan-wook, I think that's his name, and this guy. There are things in this movie that I can't get out of my head. Despite all of that though, it still manages to be funny in some parts. And that's what I mean when I say that Koreans are the best to ever do it. I've seen a bunch of Korean films and most of them have this perfect blend of comedy, action, drama, thriller, horror, everything, and it just blends all together so perfectly into a film that I can't really compare to anything else. And this is one of them. And to be honest, this might actually be my favorite Korean film of all time. Maybe it's because of recency bias. I just watched this yesterday on my phone while at a cafe using the free Wi-Fi. And I was like, I started watching it, but okay, I'll watch it like the first hour and I'll save the rest for home. 2 hours go by. I'm still hooked onto the movie. Yeah, that's a long movie, by the way. 2.5 hours. But for the life of me, I don't think you can even feel the runtime. If anything, it's got the energy and the pacing of what most hour-and-a-half movies dream to have. Anyways, enough gushing about this film. Let's go into spoiler territory. So, for those of you who have not watched the movie, this is your spoiler warning. Click off this video. Go watch it now. And then go watch my video. I don't know if you can hear there's a fucking airplane going over, so I'll have to wait for that. Okay. Yeah, the acting is top tier. Especially from our two main actors. Let me look up their names, I don't want to be disrespectful. Choi Min-sik, I probably butchered that. And Lee Byung-hun. These two make the movie. Especially this sick f***. This guy is so good at playing the serial killer that I genuinely hated him as a person. Like the actor. That's good acting. And this guy is the worst of the worst. I'm talking cannibalism, murdering, and other things that I will not mention because I just started my YouTube channel recently and I don't want it being taken down. And they show all of it. All of it. Almost nothing is left to the imagination. Everything is shown to you on screen, and it's very effective. Despite all of that though, he was my favorite character. No, hold up. Let me explain myself. I don't mean favorite as in, wow, this guy seems so cool, I would like to have a beer with this guy. No, I would probably die. Favorite as in, he is probably the most interesting character to follow. Because throughout this film, as you're following him, you don't see a sense of humanity in his eyes when he's committing these horrific acts. No sadness, nothing. This guy is scum of the earth. And call me a psycho, I love watching those characters in film. I feel like they're the most interesting part of any film they're a part of. Because in my opinion, there's this huge disconnect between the viewer and the antagonist, which by the way should always be present when making a movie about a serial killer. I don't want to feel sorry for this guy. All I want to know is what he does on a daily basis and how he reacts to it. And you get that in this movie. He does a bunch of messed up things and he feels nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's a scene earlier on when the antagonist captures our hero's girlfriend and is about to kill her. And the girlfriend looks him dead in the eye and says, "Sir, please don't kill me. I'm pregnant." And he goes, "Really? Bet." Yeah, this is a piece of shit that deserves every bad thing coming to him. Okay, I've talked enough about this guy. Let's move on to our hero, our protagonist, Kim Soo-hyun. Our protagonist is interesting in a different way, because he is definitely the good guy of the movie. But as the film goes along, you start to realize that this guy might be a bit as well. As I mentioned before, he captures this guy over and over and over again. And he has every opportunity to kill him and end everyone's suffering, and he has every right to. No one would blame him. He killed his girlfriend, but what he decides to do is let him go. Over and over and over again. And as you might expect, that has a lot of long-term consequences. They come to slap him right across the face later on. By the way, his acting is amazing. He is so good at playing the stoic hero type, like that is also very mysterious, but also shows a lot of emotions in select scenes. For instance, when he goes and tracks down where the killer is hiding, he finds his wife's wedding ring in the drain, and he starts crying, which is, yeah, it's hard to watch, and it is a very realistic reaction. And then other times, I can't relate to this guy at all. Sometimes you can see the psychotic side of him, which, you know, to be fair, was most likely created by our antagonist. But yeah, he is so good at portraying both sides of the coin. The hero and the anti-hero. And I can't shy away from this scene. It's probably one of the most devastating scenes emotionally in the film. He goes to the crime scene to confirm whether or not it's his girlfriend that died. The forensics team find the head of the victim, and it turns out to be the girlfriend's. So they put it in a bag, try to rush up to their car. But upon doing so, yeah, I forgot to mention her dad is there too, and our hero. And when he sees this, he breaks down. So heartbreaking to see. And for this one scene, you can pretty much understand why he goes to these extreme lengths to inflict as much pain on our antagonist as possible. And by the way, here's something else that I didn't expect from the film. The action is really good. Like, very intense. And this is what I love about this film. The hero is fully capable of defending himself against this guy who is significantly smaller than him, who is significantly less fit than him, and has significantly less training than him. This guy is a Secret Service agent. Of course he would kick his ass. And it's not with just brute strength. You can tell that this guy is playing chess while the villains are playing checkers. That's a little smart. Moving on. And it's filmed well too. It's not like Jason Bourne where the cameraman is having a seizure while filming the thing. You see everything and it is readable. And I respect this movie for doing that. My favorite action move from this scene is when he grabs that wooden pole and swings around, just knocks him on his ass. He goes all out. He bashes his head into this rock. He suffocates him in this plastic bag. And it's just beautiful and satisfying. That's the thing. It is in some way satisfying as a revenge film. Most revenge films, when the guy actually catches the bad guy, he either lets him go or kills him in the most unsatisfying way ever. Not this film. Not this film. This guy is the people's hero. I can salute you. After this, I think he I don't know what he does. He puts like a pill or something in his mouth. He stuffs something down his mouth. I think it's just to help him recover faster. I don't know what it was. Oh, wait. I'm just realizing that what he put in his mouth was the tracker. That's right. It was the tracker. So that he can follow him wherever he goes. That's right. I'm sorry, I don't know why I didn't pick up on that in the first place. I like how I said that this wasn't going to be like a play-by-play review of the movie, but it's slowly turning into that. I don't care. I could gush about this movie all day. So he lets him go, and he goes straight back to killing. So he hasn't learned his lesson. He goes to the doctors, tries to get patched up, not before trying to get a little hoo-ha before going on his way again. And that is when our hero enters the room at just the right time. Well, not just the right time, but like, he still did it. That's the one thing about the hero. He has the power to prevent all of these things from happening, yet he doesn't. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, he still let it happen, knowing full well who this person is, knowing full well that he could kill him, and he just keeps letting him go. That's probably the one fault of our character. And well, that's good to have that one imperfection in our character, because it grounds him. You don't want a perfect hero that does no wrong. That's when you go into John Wick territory, where he has aimbot switched on every time. What? Did I just trash John Wick? Yeah. Because this film makes Taken look like child's play. Tarantino movies look like fun family films. John Wick? Well, like, John Anyway, he catches him in the doctors. You see him walking behind, and then you think it's gonna cut away to, like, the bad guy turning around, like, oh, he's here. No. He falls on clocks him across the head with a fire extinguisher. Oh, it's amazing. Another reason why I love this film is because while the hero is winning these fights physically, the antagonist is equally winning mentally and psychologically. He is inside this guy's head every time. And oh my gosh, that scene where he cuts his Achilles, he just... chef's kiss. It was so painful to watch. I can't get the image out of my head. 10 out of 10. He lets him go again. This time, he goes to what I think is like his own serial killer group. They're all piling around this dinner table eating humans. Yeah, probably tastes like chicken anyways. FBI, open up! It was a joke! And here you see other people who are just as bad as him. But yeah, the hero tracks the villain down to that house and just goes ape shit on everyone. I love this part in particular because of how, I don't know, it's just how visceral, how realistic it was. When the girl sneaks up behind him and he just straight up hooks her in the jaw, hooks her again, and just misses the last hook. I love that because it just shows how much adrenaline he had in that one little scene. But yeah. Full on knocks her out. The other guy bashes his skull in. The antagonist walks up the stairs with a shotgun. He throws these fish hooks, I think, on all over the floor. He steps on one, and I don't know. I'm having a tough time to decide whether or not that pole vault kick was my favorite action scene, or if this was. Holy shit! And he just goes crazy. Bashes him in the head, and there's like blood splurting out. He's probably dead at this point, and I would have been satisfied at that because it's very brutal. It's very deserving of a person like that. And holy shit, there's 40 minutes left. What is left? Are you saying that he's alive? Yep, he's alive. He lets him live. Yet again, this guy is alive and well in a hospital bed. He overhears the hero talking about a tracker that he put in his mouth, and there is a flashback to the first time he called him and he was stuffing something in his mouth, and it turns out to be the tracker. And he lets our hero know that he knows who his girlfriend was. Says her name, says where she lived, where her family lives, and lets him know that he made a huge mistake. And this whole 20 to 30 minute section is probably the most intense in the entire movie, because now there's more at stake. Not only has he lost his girlfriend, but he is also going to lose his girlfriend's family, and it'll all be his fault for underestimating this guy. So there is an intense cat and mouse game going around right here. The hero is trying his best to find this guy. The antagonist walks into a clinic, takes what I believe are laxatives, and he shits out the tracker. Now when I mentioned that Koreans show everything, they show this too. And I wish they didn't. He sifts through his own shit and finds the tracker and plants it on someone else, throwing our hero off, and lets our antagonist do whatever he wants. And what's next in store is going to his girlfriend's house and murdering her family. It's sad. It's a sad scene. Police are all mad at him because they know it's all due to his sick desire to inflict as much pain as possible on this guy. And at this point I was like, damn, our hero ends up losing at the end. Okay, then cut to credits. Holy shit, there are 20 minutes left. This movie just keeps going. And to be honest, I wish there were 30 more minutes. So after that, antagonist hops into a taxi, kills the taxi driver, drives out in front of the police station, and goes to turn himself in. Damn, okay, this guy won. So it's gonna be one of these movies. The hero loses everything and has to pay for the consequences for wanting the ultimate revenge. He's waving a knife around, he's covered in blood. Holy shit, what is that in the distance? Is that a... Oh, it's getting closer. Holy shit! Yeah. He's not done with him. He straight up Tokyo Drift swerves into him, catches him, pulls him into the car, and drives off with him. Fucking amazing. There are 10 minutes left of the movie, and these last 10 minutes are sad, it's intense, it's brutal, and it's just fascinating to watch. You see our villain captured, afraid now. He pleads for his life, asking him to please let him go. And you think that the hero's gotten to his head. You think that, oh wow, he's actually scared now. Nope. Turns out he was just messing with him yet again, playing the sick mind game with him, trying to make him think that he's gotten to him. He lets our hero know that he knows he's gonna die, and that he's accepted it. He doesn't care anymore, which makes sense. I wouldn't really believe that he would be pleading for his life at this point. He knows that he's gonna die. He never pleaded for his life the other 3 times he captured him. Why would he now? So with that, the hero says this to the villain.
난 네가 죽은 후에도 고통스러웠으면 좋겠다.
And walks out. And what he does here is he sets up a guillotine trap. Yeah, jigsaw style. And it's only held there by the rope that he has to bite down on to keep stable, which is attached to the door. If anyone opens that door, pop goes the weasel. So our hero leaves, and our villain, not caring for his life, thinks that he has won, laughing maniacally. At this point, I think he knew that he wouldn't get to the villain's head. So what does he decide to do? He calls his family, like, oh look, I found your son, I know where he is. By the way, the mother and father of the serial killer hasn't seen him in a long time. That's right, this serial killer has family. A mother, a father, and a son, and they are oblivious to the acts that this man causes on a day-to-day basis. So with the ultimate checkmate, he makes them directly responsible for his death, passing the trauma on to the family, who he seemed to care about. He hears his son's voice, and he pleads for him not to open the door. Now, for me, this could be one of 3 possibilities, or the combination of 2. A, he doesn't want to die. B, he doesn't want his family to see him die. Or C, he doesn't want his family to see him for the monster he truly is. Now, for all I know, it could be all 3 of these possibilities at once. And I believe that it is. His family doesn't know who he truly is, nor does his son. So with the last-ditch effort to finally win against the villain, he decides to punish his family. Now that's why I say that I think this guy is a psychopath. What did this family ever do other than give birth to this monster? They had nothing to do with it. Maybe he meant it as a good thing. He wanted his family to see him for the monster he truly is. Which, you know, there are better ways. But I love that. I love how ambiguous it is. It's pretty much up for debate what this means. And with the last scene, we see our hero crying and laughing and crying again, and just juggling these emotions that he's having in his head. And the movie ends. Yeah. This is the best revenge film of all time. Korean, American, Spanish, I don't give a shit. It is the best that film has to offer. Now, with this ending, there's a lot left to the imagination. Why was he laugh crying at the end? My interpretation is that, oh, he's just gone crazy. He realizes that a person like that can never be punished, because any punishment going their way, they'll probably enjoy it. And we see all of those actions throughout the movie take a toll on him mentally. Now, I don't know what that means for the future of this man. Is he going to be arrested? Is he going to have a Secret Service agent license revoked? I hope so. Yeah, I get it. I get that he's the hero of the movie, but I don't want anyone that deranged working in the police force at any capacity. Maybe I should make a rating system for one of these. I don't know if this was a review or not. More just of a gush session of one of my favorite movies now, and probably my favorite Korean movie, my favorite revenge film of all time. I'd like to make this into a series now. Just talk about movies, because I myself am fascinated with movies. Well, I want to become a filmmaker when I grow up. So I think that it's kind of therapeutic, not therapeutic, it just makes sense for me to talk about movies like this. I'd like to talk about some hidden gems, some movies that maybe critics hated, that I love, and just gush about movies. If I were to put a rating system on here, I'd probably make a 1 through 10 rating system just to keep it simple. Oh yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 movie. It's a masterpiece. It is a perfect movie and the perfect revenge film. And that's all I've got to say about I Saw the Devil. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I know this is a very different type of video compared to all my other content, but I'd like to lean into more of this video essay-esque style because it just makes me talk freely about films that I love. If anyone has any suggestions for what movie to watch next, let me know in the comments. I'm a big movie buff and I want to expand my watch list. By the way, if you love this video and my style of content, I've got a lot of bangers. I've got the Otara Brave series, docu series that I made that I'm currently working on for season 2, making weight loss journey videos. Shout out to Oosgang. And sometimes I dive into gaming. Yeah, you're getting everything on my channel. Why watch anything else? Highlanders TV! That's right, it's pronounced Highlanders, not Hislanders. Get it right. Alright, peace.